Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. It's Brandon again, and today I thought we'd take a look at what's in my gym bag. Now, it's been several months since we've done one of these videos. However, I thought it'd be an interesting look to see exactly what's changed and what stayed the same and what really warrants a place in my own gym bag, and maybe it might spur you on to reconsider some of these things in your own. So the first thing I'll kind of mention is the gym bag itself. This is made by Nike. I don't know what model number it is, but I can say I've had this for several years and it's held up extremely well. So in the past, I've had a lot of issues with gym bags falling apart, but this one really is good. However, I can't really help you out in terms of what model it is, but if you find one that looks like this with two pockets on each side and just one main center pocket, I would suggest it. I don't think it's that expensive. I remember paying something around 40 or 50 bucks for it, but again, I'm not really sure on that front. So we're gonna start and just kind of work through the bag, and I'll show you exactly what's in here. So the first thing I have to pull out is something that is really probably one of the most important things, and that's my iPod. Now, this was just an iPod Nano, the newer generation one. A lot of people ask about the armband itself. I'm not sure who makes it, but I'll show you a close-up view of the logo, so maybe you'll be able to determine what it is. I'm pretty sure that this was gotten for me on Amazon as a gift, so hopefully it works. I really like this armband a lot. I know a lot of people like to use their phones or something like that, but I like to have it kind of out of the way, so I strap this to my arm, I tuck the cable underneath my shirt, and it's really out of the way, and I can listen to my Justin Bieber in peace as I do lunges. Now, another thing that's in here that's somewhat interesting is these wrist straps, and these are interesting in the fact that I haven't used these in several months, and really I don't know why they're still in my bag. I did consider using them the other day on front squats because my grip was starting to go. I was having to work up to a heavy triple. I think I had like 355 on the bar, and I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to hold it there on the shelf, so I considered using these, but I decided to really just focus on my grip strength, and because I've been doing that, these have really become obsolete. These are made by Vallejo. I got them on Amazon. Again, they're just canvas. I think they cost like $9 or so. Another thing I keep in here, and this is more for other people just as much as it is me, is just some deodorant. Sometimes I come straight from work or I smell a little gamey doing those squats and deadlifts all in the same day. So just in case there's a pretty young thing, which if you ask my girlfriend, I shouldn't be saying that anyway, but I have this just in case. This is just Old Spice swagger. It doesn't really matter. Just something to kind of mask that manly scent that I work up on occasion. All right, so moving on then to the center compartment, we'll take a look at what's in here. Now, this is actually a Tupperware that's full of chalk. I bought, I think, a 6-piece chalk set, again, on Amazon for fairly cheap. I'll try to throw all the links for everything that I bought in the description box below. But this has really been a lifesaver, especially considering I just told you I've been working on grip. Because I go to the gym now that lets me actually use chalk, I put it to a lot of use, and I use this all the time, and it's a really good buy because it's fairly cheap and inexpensive. And this nice sealable Tupperware where you can actually clamp the things closed is a good way to make sure that you don't get your bag covered in chalk. Now, one of my favorite all-time purchases is going to be my Inzer lever belt. People always ask me because I have a lot of gym equipment, as you can kind of see from here, and this is only the tip of the iceberg because a lot of the stuff I have in another room, I don't use it anymore. But this is probably one of the best investments you can make, a good quality belt. This one is a 13mm lever belt. I got it right from Inzer. Again, I'll link it in the description box below. I went with the blue color. It doesn't really matter the color per se, but this thing has really been a lifesaver and a game changer in my opinion, and it's definitely worth the price if you can afford it. I also have my squatting shoes here. These are Adidas Adi Powers. I've had the Adidas Powerlift trainers as well. If you guys are interested in seeing a review on these or the Powerlift trainers, you can find that on my channel. I got these through East Bay on sale with a discount for I think $160 shipped, and that's marked down from I believe $190 or $199. These things are great. I wear them all the time on squats, and only for squats. I do not wear them on deadlifts. I get that question all the time. The reason I don't wear them on deadlifts is because for a deadlift, you want to be as close to the floor as possible, and these shoes with the raised heel really doesn't do that for you. So this is why I do not wear Olympic weightlifting shoes for deadlifts. Another recent addition to my bag itself are the SBD knee sleeves. For a long time, I was wearing the Reband ones. I've since moved on to SBDs. If you want to know why, you can actually check on my channel as I have a comparison review for both these sleeves and the Reband blue knee sleeves that you see all the time. These things cost me $90 through Anderson Powerlifting. Link below if you're interested, but these are a great knee sleeve. And again, watch that video if you want to get more clarification on why I think so. Also in my main compartment, I have this, the Dead Wedge. Again, video for this on my channel if you're interested. I use this only because I didn't want to spring for an actual deadlift jack myself. This thing is $20 through lift.net. And it's pretty handy for what it does, especially for me, considering that I do squats before I do my deadlifts these days. So by the time I have to load the bar, if I didn't have this, yes, I could use like a 5-pound plate, but This is a little bit easier in my opinion, and it was cheap, and again, it fits conveniently in my gym bag, so it's okay. Moving on to the last pocket here on the side, the first thing we have is a hat or a beanie. You guys are probably overly familiar with me wearing these things, and I have them for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm a little bit follically challenged, although I might just say I shave my hair for the aerodynamic setting up on my squats, but it helps cover my head, and that's because number one, I look like this, and number two, because my gym is also cold a lot of times and I really like to stay warm, hence the purpose of some of the knee sleeves and some of these other compression things you might see from time to time on my channel. So this really helps keep me warm when I don't have any hair. But also a big part of this for me is when I'm in the gym and there's other stuff going around, pulling on a beanie or a hat like this really down and low kind of acts as like a blinder for me. Especially when I have my headphones in as well. It really lets me focus on the sets a little bit better. And maybe it's just like a mental placebo thing, but I really enjoy wearing something like this, a hat or a beanie, just because I said it gives me that extra focus when need be. Other things I have on here, again, are the Gangster Wraps by Mark Bell from howmuchbench.net. I think these things cost me $30 or $40. These are a great pair of wrist wraps and probably the best pair of wrist wraps I've ever owned. Again, if you want to find out more information on these, I have a video and I'll link that in the description box for you as well. Speaking of Mark Bell, one of the other things I have from him is the Hip Circle by Mark Bell, his Slingshot brand, and I use this as part of my mobility and warm-ups. A lot of you guys have been asking, what I do for mobility these days because I'm always complaining about opening my hips and getting loose before some of these squat sessions. This is something I've implemented in as part of my mobility routine, and I really like it. I'll probably do a review on these at some point, and I'll also try to film that actual mobility routine that I do. The last thing I have in my bag is just a screwdriver in case I need to alter my lever belt, which doesn't happen too often, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I know a lot of people prefer using like a quarter or a nickel, and that's definitely something you can use too, but I have a tendency to lose those pretty easily, and this isn't really going anywhere. So that's what I have in my gym bag for right now. As you can see, some things have changed since the last time I did this, and it will continue to do so as I really kind of pick out which things are most optimal and efficient for me and what get the most use and what really doesn't have a place in here anymore. What I'd be really interested in hearing is your guys' own opinions and what you guys have in your gym bags, or if you have a channel, do a video response to this. And even though you can't necessarily submit it as a video response, I'm subbed to many of you, so I'd really be interested to see what's in your gym bag. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.